Hey folks, welcome back to AAA Farms. James here. It's Friday night. I'm on my way back home from work. As y'all can tell, it's dark outside. But I wanted to try to get some sound for what we're doing tomorrow. So I have a 2015 F250. I don't know if y'all heard that thump right there, or that thump. But the body mounts are gone. They're shot. This truck, or this year model for the Super Duties anyway. And I don't know what all years it expands, but it's a pretty big range. The body mounts are made of some type of foam, and they just degrade over time. So my truck's a 2015. It's currently 2024. So what, 9 years old, and we got 123,000 miles on the truck. So I don't know if we can complain too much. It's still kind of annoying because my 96 F350 still has the original body mounts on it. But finally bit the bullet. Bought some S&B body mounts to replace these. They're a silicone base, and they come with a lifetime warranty. They're also like $523. I got a crew cab, so the crew cab comes with more of them. If you got an extended cab, slightly cheaper. But finally got to the point that I'm tired of this thing beating me to death whenever I'm going back and forth to work. Is there's a lot of thumping and a lot of shaking. I don't know how well any of this is coming across the camera, but it's doing it. So I just kind of wanted to give y'all a little feed into it while we're driving here to see if y'all can hear the thumping. And we'll take a test drive once I get the new body mounts put on, and we'll go from there. I'll see y'all in the morning, and we'll put the new body mounts on. It's gonna go one of two ways. It's either gonna be really, really easy, but as long as we apply a lot of heat, or it might go very, very bad. I've seen anywhere from where a guy used he's used some propane heat, and he was able to get them off on an impact pretty easily. I also seen where a guy, I don't think he used too much heat, but he ended up using a cheater bar with an 8-foot pipe on it. So hopefully y'all heard all that bumping there. So anyway, 8-foot pipe to try to break him free, and it was rough for him. So I got a propane torch. We're gonna heat these bolts up, hopefully break down that Loctite, because even though the body mounts are no good, apparently they use some really good Loctite. So I will talk to you guys in the morning. Morning folks, welcome back to the farm. So last night, kind of already went over replacing the body mounts in the 2015 F250. I've seen this go one or two ways doing research. One way I saw a guy heat up the bolt really cherry red hot, and he popped that out of impact with no problem. I also seen a guy, I don't think he heated the bolt long enough, but basically they used 2 breaker bars with 8-foot pipes to break them free. Hopefully we won't get that point. But first thing we got to do is get our assistants out and put them to work. Y'all ready to fix the truck? I always think it's funny watching them run out like that. For some reason, can't remember which Jurassic Park it is, but was it 2 or 3? I think it was 3. They when they were on the island and they were running through the tall grass, and you just saw the raptors running in the tall grass after them. That's what they remind me of. Anyway, we got a lovely morning this morning. I say morning, it's like 11 o'clock. Kind of had a late start to the day. It's been a long day at work, or a long week at work, and I was a little bit more tired this morning than I realized. So anyway, got up, got the kids dressed, got the chickens out, got the kids fed. That's probably more important than the dress part. Now we're going to see how long it takes us to do this here. So let's go over what we're going to need. All right, if you're going to need a socket set, I went with the torch. You can buy like a what is that, induction bolt heater. I saw a guy use one of those. It looked to work really, really well. They're also like $180, versus that kit is 20 bucks. Comes with the torch and a tall propane bottle, and then I bought 2 more. I think those were $6 a pair. All that's at Walmart. Went ahead, I already have a 1/2-inch breaker bar, but I went ahead, went to Hard Freight, got a ratcheting one to make things a little bit easier. Gonna want an extension to get your hands clear. Probably gonna be using this longer one here, which is 15 inches. Yeah, so probably use the 15-inch, might use the 10-inch. Gonna need a crowbar. You're gonna need some sort of jack to pick the body up once you get the body mounts off. Our S&B body mounts. So for this truck, there's 8 of them. It's a crew cab. This costs, with tax and everything, I think it's like $521. Very expensive. You can buy some cheaper ones on Amazon that are China made, probably. People say they work, they're good. They do say these have a better ride quality. The China ones I was looking at, I think the body mounts were $300, but then you had to turn around and buy the bolts separate, and the bolts were basically like an extra $100, so $400 versus American made, lifetime guaranteed, better ride, for basically $100 more. So I went with the S&B silicone body mounts. I'm expecting these to turn out pretty good. There's a part number for you. That's an 8. Yeah, there you go. Now, that's all that's required to do this. We're going to see how it goes, but we got the Bauer impact and we got impact rated sockets just in case. However, everywhere as you read, it tells you do not use an impact, because the bolts on this truck actually go through the bottom up to cage nuts that are actually in the cab. Those cage nuts can be a pain in the butt to get to. Some of them are, some of them ain't. And the impact gives you a better chance of it slipping in that cage nut. So, but what my game plan is I'm going to use our torch. I'm going to get that bolt hot. I'm probably going to put the torch on for about 2 minutes on the bolt head, because like I said, the nuts are inside the cab. So you're going to have to heat the bolt head. All that heat has to transfer through the bolt head, through the shaft, to the threads, to the Loctite. Even though they have really crappy body mounts, Ford put really good Loctite on these bolts. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna let it run for 2 minutes. We're then gonna take our breaker bar and see how hard it is to break them free. And if it's super easy to get them out at that point, then we're gonna use the impact, or try to use the impact. If it's hard, we're gonna either use the breaker bar to get them all the way out, or get them out until it starts getting loose, or maybe we put the torch on it for a little bit longer to try to break that Loctite a little bit more. So let's get under the truck. All right, we're under the truck now. There's the back one. There's nothing there anymore. That's why we're knocking so bad in the back. We can see the front 2, or I guess middle 2. Technically the front one's way up by the radiator, so those are the middle 2. That one closest to us actually looks okay from here. The one in front of it looks pretty rough. That one looks like it's gone too. And I can't really see the other side from here, but I'm pretty sure the other side looks identical to this side. So we're gonna figure out what socket we need for this real quick. So 15 millimeter. It's gotta be a 15 millimeter on this. Got a good bite, and we just dropped that. Alright, we're going to put this on for about 2 minutes and go from there. Okay, that's roughly 2 seconds. Not 2 seconds, 2 minutes. Hopefully this comes out pretty easily. So one major thing we got to remember,
is we just put a torch on this for 2 minutes, so when this stuff comes out, it's going to be very, very hot. So as I feel it getting looser, I'm going to try to move to the side a little bit. There we go. Whew. It's going to be a workout today, I can tell you that. Oh. So to give my arms a little bit of break, we're going to impact this the rest of the way up. Okay, remember that this stuff is super hot. Okay. Thinking. We tried 2.5 minutes on the next one. But also what we're going to do is move on to the next one. We'll get that bolt out, and then we'll get all the bolts out, and then we'll start back on this side and work our way back this way to see if we can make this a little bit easier on ourselves. But not necessarily make it easier, but that's super hot. So at least if we go all the way to the front and then we come back and we start prying this off, hopefully it's cooled off some. Probably not much because it's super hot. But I'm not gonna cut or edit any of this so y'all can see how long it took to do the first one. The next one we'll do 2.5 minutes, and then we'll kind of go from there to see if, you know, maybe if we hold the torch on there longer, maybe it's easier. Torch definitely gonna help you. It ain't gonna hurt you. So I highly recommend using a torch. Okay, start our longer time here. Yeah. Definitely want to do this in a non-flammable area. That's kind of why I parked where I did, because there ain't no dirt. It is a lot easier. You just gotta worry about the inferno catching your truck on fire. Easy now. Go get some water real quick. Okie dokie. So, keep a cup of water on hand. Which, I mean, it's common sense. We're using an open torch. Or something to put the fire out anyway. The longer time frame didn't do that. What did that is there's actually some shock left on this. And these things are made of foam. Or some form of foam, so it is flammable. I guess that would be the benefit of the induction bolt heater. The 2.5 minutes definitely made it a lot easier. It wasn't loose enough for the torque gun at first, but as soon as I got it to where it was somewhat moving fine, threw the torque gun on it, took it off pretty easily, so not too big of a deal. Just want to keep some water available. This one's probably going to be more flammable just because it's falling. It's still there. It's not gone like the first one, but it's not all there like the second one. So this is probably going to catch on fire a little bit easier, I would think. But we're going to have us a cup of water ready to go. And I mean, all in all, the little induction heater, if you're scared of the fire, the little induction heater is like 80 bucks. I mean, 180 bucks. So if you got the money for that, the only other questionable thing, that thing's kind of long. So if you're working on the ground like I am, it might be hard to get to. But other than that, it might be worth spending the $180 if you're worried about open flame, because like I said, you are gonna have to deal with this. 100% if you use an open flame, do not do this in your garage or shed. I would do it out in the open like I am. Even better, you could do it on concrete. I'm on this is kind of like I mean, there's grass, but it's pretty bare here too, so not too big of a deal. Cool. We'll move on to the next one. What's going to be really fun is doing that one on the other side and that back one on the other side, because the gas tank's right there. Some more fun. Oh boy. Alright, let's move on to the next one. So what I'm thinking about doing is going ahead and putting some water up here. Maybe this foam will suck some of that up. I'm a little bit more concerned about this one than the last one, just because there's wires kind of all around this thing, versus there wasn't really any wires back there. So we're gonna splash some water up there, then we'll go get more water, and we'll go from there. Okay, try this one more again. That's 180 seconds roughly. So roughly 3 minutes. Okay, dokie. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and use this opportunity to wet it down. Okay. Should be roughly 3 minutes. Ooh. Alright, we got all the passenger side loose. Got all the bolts out. Kind of made sure that I could touch the bolt before I start messing with this and make sure it cooled off enough. It's oh, some nasty stuff, man. Let's see if y'all can see that, but yeah, that's that Loctite cooking out. So next step, so okay, that's cold now. So next thing is to pry these off, which this one's just going to slide out, it seems like. Maybe not, but that's why you get the crowbar. So bought this crowbar for, I don't know, like $5 from Harbor Freight. So I got this crowbar. I got that ratcheting breaker bar. Had some issues with it. I'm going to leave that in the video just so y'all can see it. That is a Pittsburgh ratcheting breaker bar. At first I thought it had to do with me accidentally hitting the switch, so, you know, for it to go from loosen to tighten. But then there's a couple of those instances I'm pretty confident I did not hit that switch. So I don't know. We'll have to see. It's still nicer having the ratcheting versus just a standard breaker bar, but maybe get a better one. But the reason I went with the Pittsburgh, it was really the only one I could find and the quick amount of time I needed it. Plus I got that, I got this, and I got the those extension sets, and I think I spent like $25, $30 getting all that. So I mean, I feel like it's a pretty good deal. It got the job done. Just maybe I was hitting the switch, I don't know, we'll see on that driver's side. So anyway, now we got to try to pry this out. So we got that out. So there's supposed to be some of that foam on this. As you can see, there is none. Now the next step, this just comes out, but you do have to jack up the bottom of the truck to do that. But I figured I'd go ahead and get this bottom part out of these three at least. That last one's probably too hot to worry about right now, but I figured I'd go ahead and get these off before I lift it up. It's just less time that the truck has to be in the air with me working under it, which, I mean, as long as you keep your hands clear of pinch points between the frame and stuff, you should be fine. Better safe than sorry though. Try to get this one out. Make sure. Okay, yep, that's not too hot, or that's not hot anymore either. So you can definitely see it's seen its better days. It's pretty rusted. This one was in okay shape. It caught fire. Yeah, I remember that. So, and the last one is this one. So I might recommend y'all soaking it down with some water before y'all start with the torch, just because the other one was in good shape and caught fire. This one, you could tell looking at that, Has a bunch of loose material that should have caught fire easily. However, it did not. There's two reasons behind that. One being that yeah, it sits in there like this, and so none of that foam was protruding from the sides, so this washer guarded it. Now that other one was in decent shape, so it actually wraps around it, and that's what caught on fire, was those edges. Alright, so now we gotta find us a point to jack up this cab a little bit, just enough to get these out. You're not trying to get just a ton of space, but you want some. I'm thinking here. Ideally, I'm going to try to get it in a spot that would be just be able to get everything at once. The other side's still tight. I didn't loosen it up. Might have to loosen it up. I don't know. We'll see. Trying to figure out which side. I think I'm going to try here. I know y'all probably can't see that at all, but there's where I'm going to try. A little bit more. Okay. A little bit more. I need a longer block. Oh yeah, there we go. There it is. Okay. Alright, so we got the back three anyways, or all but the front one. So this is the very back one. Kinda see how bad there's on the bottom part there ain't nothing. The top part really ain't nothing left there either. I had to explain why the back was knocking so bad. The bolts are still, the bolts don't really fail on these, but just show all the Loctite. That's why you need that heat. So the way this rides, well at least this one, This goes between your cab and your frame. This comes up through the bottom, and then you run your bolt up, and that tightens to that cage nut inside the cab. But since there's no foam left, this was just banging against the frame the entire time you hit a bump. Hopefully y'all heard that in last night's video. I honestly haven't looked over that part of the video yet. So this one was in relatively good shape still. It caught fire, but before fire, honestly, this one was in pretty good shape. So yet again, that's the top part. Still pretty good shape. This is the bottom, and it just goes like that. This was on good shape before we caught it on fire. This is the second from the front. You can tell it was on its way out the door. This one did not catch fire, but you can see how ate up that is. They just fall apart. Now, it's easy to complain about it, but let's, all seriousness, I do like this truck. I'm not happy that I'm having to do this, but let's be real. It's a 2015 truck. It is currently 2024. I've owned this truck for 9 years. It's got, I think, about 125-ish thousand miles on it. I've had careers in the past where I had a company vehicle. When I first bought this truck for the first couple of years, we really didn't put any miles on it. And then whenever I left that place and started working another place, I had to drive, but my wife was stay-at-home mom at that time. We just had our middle child, or no, we just had our second child. So she was stay-at-home with those two. And so I was taking her little red Camry, because it gets 32 miles per gallon. This thing gets 14. This truck is great at a lot of things. Fuel economy is not one of them. But what finally, now these things degrade. This is a known failure point on this year model truck. I think it's all 2011s to like 2017s or something like that, 2016s maybe. Have the same design, so it's gonna fail. If you have that truck, it's gonna happen. But what made this go, I think, because when I first started hearing that knocking, it actually kind of scared me a bit. Last year, hauling hay from the other side of Natchitoches, which is, I was about an hour, 15 hour, 20 minutes. We had a 32-foot gooseneck that weighs roughly 9,000 pounds, along with 15 hay bales that weigh roughly 1,000 pounds apiece. So we had 25,000 pounds on the back of this truck when it's rated to tow, I think like 16,000, 17,000 pounds with a gooseneck. I was actually in town, almost home, and I heard an extremely loud pop. And once I heard that pop, from then on, I heard the rattling. I'm kind of curious if somehow we were torquing this back one, and it was already starting to fail, and then we just torqued it enough to where it finished blowing out or something. I don't know. But it's easy to complain because I got a 96 truck that I've never had to change the body mounts in. S&B does make bottom mounts for OBSs, by the way, and they're like $300. They're a lot cheaper, but there's only 6 of them versus 8. So, you know, it's easy to complain, but let's be honest, 125,000 miles, 9-year-old truck. The mile part, probably not justifiable. The 9 years old, okay, I can see that. All right, so S&B mounts. We got us a little sticker. Installation instructions, and then this looks like just a little brochure of different stuff they order or they have. I'll probably eventually get a cold air intake for the 1996 truck. Only reason I'm really interested in that, and I'm probably going to get from S&B because there are a lot of positive things you hear about them. Anyway, that's in the future. But the air intake on that one, on the dually now, is cracked. So it's really the only reason I'm looking to replace that whole intake. So here is our new body mounts. So they come apart just like the other ones. You take these red pieces off and you'll sandwich them together. But give you an idea, you know, this is before and after what we're looking at. So it ought to be extremely nice. But it comes with all the new body mounts, silicone body mounts, that these ain't gonna fail, or they shouldn't fail. And it comes with all new bolts with red Loctite on them. I don't think the Loctite on these are red. Yeah, this is some blue Loctite. Holy crud, that stuff holds on really well. Heat is definitely your friend. I've seen a lot of people that didn't use too much heat, and oh, I was really scared doing this project, but once we put the heat on it, and once we figured out let's wet it down before we put the torch to it, it's a workout, but it's pretty easy. So we're going to slip the new ones on, and we'll put 3 new ones on the back, and then we'll probably start the bolts, maybe, or we might, I don't know. We might start the bolts, or actually we'll probably let the cab back down on top of these, and maybe we start the bolts, and then we do the front one and start the bolt. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's get started. All right, so when you do buy these, they come with a paper that have a QR code on them. You scan that QR code, and it basically gives you the instructions. So the instructions, you got this red paper right there in the center. Everything below that red paper goes below the frame. Everything above that red paper goes above the frame. So you got a plastic shim, your metal cup, your silicone, and then this little red shim. Okay. And take our other pieces. Take your red paper off. And we can press this in here. And I'm thinking that little seal will hold it in there. Yeah. Okay. And that is really all there is to it. So, nothing hard at all. Putting them on, taking them off is a pain. And it does instruct you 76 foot-pounds of torque, but we're going to change all these out. Then we're going to pull the front one off. I might see if I can pull the front one off now, or before I move the jack. And if I can't, then I'll have to move the jack. Okay, same thing here. Everything below this little red paper goes below the frame. And everything above it goes above the frame. Okay. Main thing is a little plastic shim. I can see that'd be the easiest thing to mess up. There's a little plastic shim that goes at the very, very top. And it's very easy to just knock it off, because I mean that's all it is right there. But there we go. And then our last one. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm getting pretty excited. Okay, remove our red paper. We're gonna go ahead and slide that in there like that. There we go. Okay. Same thing with this one. What I will say, the holes in the frame here have flats, and this has flats. So you want to make sure that that flat goes flat to flat. That's going to keep these from spinning. See if we can get this in there. Actually, you know what? We can take that plastic shim off. Oh, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Take the plastic shim off, gives you plenty of space. And then, now you can slide the plastic shim on with plenty of space. And grab your lower portion, remove the red tag again. Me and my wife were talking the other night. We're kind of curious of the sign you getting old whenever you're excited about changing body mounts on your truck. And on her end, we just got her some new tires on the back of her car. She was excited about that. Her SUV, she got a little Toyota Highlander. Well, that's it. Let's go do the front one. Maybe we can get the front one off without moving the jack. If not, we'll move the jack. We still got to get the lower bottom part of this out. Let's see. Trying to do this y'all been able to look at it. Ooh. Don't know if we're gonna have quite enough room. I think we do. No, maybe not. I can pick it up with the crowbar enough, so. Let's see. I don't think so. I think we're gonna have to move the jack up here. Let's see. And that's like right there too. I can pick it up just a hair more. There we go. So let's see. This is what's left of the front one. You can tell we did melt it a little bit, but still not a lot there. Same thing here, not a lot. Just ate up just like the rest. I'm gonna go get the new S&B. Take it apart. That goes on the bottom. We do our same little trick we did earlier. Take the plastic shim off. Make sure our flats are lined up. There we go. Slide our plastic shim on. Nice. That's on. Yep. Take a little red paper off this bottom part. And slide that on in there. Okay. See, I felt that shim move, so you're gonna have to keep a very close eye on that. And guys, we are ready to lower the truck. And then we got to torque all this to 76 foot-pounds, which I did forget to get my torque wrench, so I'll have to go grab that too. I'm gonna leave y'all there because I feel like that gives you a good shot of it coming down, maybe. Yeah, maybe not. Let's see if we can get you a different angle. All right, let's lower this jack down. Super excited. We want to do this as slow as we can. We're on the new body mounts now. All right. So next step is just get our bolt started. which was not hard to do whatsoever. Cool. Did I get all the bolts? Yeah, let's get all the bolts started before we start tightening anything. Let me do that real quick. So I got my torque wrench set to 76 foot-pounds. I was debating on impacting these down first, just to, yeah, let's do that. We're gonna try this on the back one, just so when y'all are trying this, the back ones are the easiest ones to get to the back of the cage nut. So there we go. We're just gonna snug it up really quick like that, and then we'll tighten her down. Alright, 76 foot-pounds. We had to tighten that a lot further than I thought. Oh man, this is awesome. I'm super excited about this. Let's do the next one. So one thing I should have done beforehand, which I can do it on this side anyway. You see the body lines there are way off. Big drop. That's a good sign that you need new body mounts. So from here forward is all on body mounts, and then from that back it's not. So you can see the body mounts are a lot lower than they're supposed to be. Look at all them yellow flowers. My arms are limp noodles now. Now you can see where it's at on this side. To me, it looks like it is slightly higher than it should be. But I'm kind of curious, when I raise the other side, is it going to kind of level this out and make it good? There is a potential that we didn't need the plastic shims on top. I'd have to look at the directions to see if you could take the plastic shims off or not. All in all, I'm not overly worried about perfect body lines on this truck, because it is a farmer's truck. This thing is not a show truck. It is a good looking truck. It needs to be washed really well. But I mean, you know, if I was selling this truck, they're probably not worried about that as much as they were, you know, like the big dented in bed, the collapsed in bed sides, and I think this one's pretty bad too. So I doubt they're going to care about that. I mean, they'll probably look at the body mounts and be like, oh, they got S&B body mounts, and be pretty happy about it. But all in all, looking pretty good. We'll come back and look at this when I get done on the other side. And that way we can kind of see what happened, or what happens. But we are officially done with the passenger side. We are halfway through. So I'm gonna hurry up and do the other side. And I say hurry up. It's 1:17 now. And I wish I would have looked a little bit better. What I'm gonna do is we'll time this other side better. But I'm pretty sure I started roughly around 11:30. So 11:30 to, so almost 2 hours to do one side. A little less than 2 hours. So I mean that's really not that bad in my opinion. So I didn't look, but other people were talking about if you bring it to the shop to do this, you're looking at spending an additional $500 to $1,000 for the shop to do it. And then you got to wait for the shop to get to it, because I mean, you know, let's be honest, shops are busy. So it took roughly almost 2 hours to do this side. Probably be quicker on the other side because we learned a lot on this side. Because I mean, it's the first time I've ever done this or changed body mounts, period. I've never done body mounts before. But definitely, I would recommend doing this yourself. You can get that little propane torch. That's a kit from Walmart. It's in the sporting goods aisle right by like the campfire stuff and camping stuff. It's like 20 bucks. The extensions and the ratcheting breaker bar and the crowbar was like 30 bucks. And then now the torque wrench, I don't remember. I bought that torque wrench off of Amazon. It's a Lexivon, I guess. Got it off Amazon. I've had that for a while. It's really good. I really like that torque wrench. I didn't go digital because then you got to worry about batteries. This one's strictly mechanical. I don't have to worry about batteries. And then a socket set. Ideally, if you're looking at this and you're thinking about doing this, I'm assuming you probably have most of these tools. But I mean, 2 hours to do it, that ain't bad in my opinion. Oh, and a car jack, which that's just a Walmart car jack. I was going to use, I got some like little Tractor Supply bottle jacks that I keep in my truck, mainly for if I'm hauling cattle somewhere. I want multiple jacks just in case I need them. And I decided to go with that just because that's going to be quicker. Ultimately is all it is. So anyway, I'm going to probably take a minute and give my arms a little bit of a break. But then we'll pick back up on the other side. I'm probably not going to record all that because it's going to be the exact same thing. If there's anything unique, I'll record it. But I will tell you the start time and the end time. That way we know exactly how long it takes. And go from there. It really ain't bad. My arm's a little bit sore. It's about the only bad thing. But I mean, that's probably mostly because I'm fat and out of shape. So anyway, I'm gonna take a break real quick, go get a drink of water, and then we'll pick back up. All right, guys. I'm gonna do this driver's side without recording because I mean it's just more of the same. If there's something unique, I'm gonna record it just to show you. If there's maybe a wire in a weird place or something. We are closer to the fuel tank, so we were gonna make sure to throw our cup of water on there really good and have a cup of water on standby. We're gonna go with 3 minutes on the torch. Major thing, remember the body line difference here. The looks like this is lined up with this to me, so probably about an inch, half inch to inch. Right now it is 1:30, so if I remember whenever I get done, I'm going to tell you what time it is when I get done. I suspect it's going to go slightly quicker because we know what we're doing now, but I also suspect it's going to go slightly slower because my arms are limp noodles right now, so bear with me. But right now it's probably about 1:31, so I'm gonna get after it and then I'll tell you what time it is when I get done. All right, guys, we're not quite done yet, but I'm in a torquing down phase here. I want to show this quickly. On the driver's side, you got the brake cable. I'm assuming, well, this is gonna be the e-brake. So all I did, this is normally mounted right there like that. I took that bolt up the side and I was able to pull this out of the way. And then down there on that end where it goes through by that one, it actually goes into like a rubber hose. All you got to do is just be careful not to melt that rubber hose. Other than that, everything on this side was pretty much the exact same, so nothing too crazy. All right, I'm finished buttoning this up. All right, guys, we are officially done. It's 2:47. We started at 1:30, so that's an hour and 17 minutes. Oh, my arms are limp noodles. Oh. Everything went a lot quicker because I knew what I was doing from the first side. However, going through getting the bolts off, I was still rocking and rolling. I got to the last two, which is the one right by the driver's seat and the front one by the radiator, torquing them down, and oh, that took a while because my arms are very heavy right now. So, but what, an hour and 17 minutes to do one side. So in theory, if you're moving the same speed, you can get done with this in about 3 hours. Absolutely recommend the heat. We are going to go on a drive test to see how much better it rides, make sure we don't have all the knocking and all that fun stuff. I got to go take me a break first because my arms are tired, but let's check out a couple things first. All right, body lines looking a lot better. They look pretty even. The cab might be slightly higher, which you probably can take off the shims to correct that, but I'm not that worried about it. These are the ones that came off the driver's side. So front, second, third, back. You could tell this side was much worse. This one was still good. We wetted it down beforehand. It still caught on fire, but not as bad. As soon as I hit the 3-minute mark with the torch, I threw some water on it to put the fire out and then got it out. I actually went 6 minutes on this one with the torch. It seemed like it came out easier. I don't know if it's worth the extra time though, because it wasn't that much easier versus like 3 minutes with the torch. So, but you can definitely tell these are a lot worse, or just as bad as the other side. The other side's right there. Let's go check the body lines on this side real quick. Struggling along. Yeah, it looked like it came down a little bit. I feel like the body lines are pretty well even now. It might be a slight difference, but I think they're good. So I'm gonna pick up tools really quick, go get me some water, probably wipe myself down because I got crud all over me from all that stuff. Would I recommend doing this yourself? Absolutely. It takes about 3 hours. Do it in your driveway or out in the grass. Wouldn't recommend doing it in the shop. If you got the money, I really would recommend the little induction heater, just because then you don't have to worry about the stuff catching on fire. But the torch worked. It worked really well. Just make sure you have a cup of water to put out any fires. And it also depends on your body mounts. The only ones that really caught fire were the two, one on each side, second from the back. So the ones that it's like in the middle of the cab, they caught fire, but they are not blown out like the rest of them are. The rest of them being blown out, the torch really couldn't hit that area because it's being guarded by that metal washer part. But other than that, I would highly recommend doing it yourself. Your arms are going to be like limp noodles when it's all said and done, but absolutely worth it. Saves you about $500 to $1,000 to paying somebody else to do it, and gives you a self-accomplishment. So I'm gonna pick up some stuff, go get some water, wash my arms off, and we're gonna go for a test drive. All right, moment of truth. Everything's torqued down to 76 foot-pounds. Let's go for a test drive. I am super excited about this. My arms are limp noodles, but I'm super excited about it. Crazy roller. All right. Oh man, my arms are killing me. All right, moment of truth. Try to get y'all situated better.
Sync has connected to your phone and is reminding you that 911 service is set to off.
that rattling's actually coming from that door. There's some, I can't remember what's in there. Something's in there that's clattering. Not like actually part of the truck, just tools or something. If you are hearing it anyways. It's not the first thump. It's going down my driveway, so that's why it's so bouncy. Gravel driveway. Worn out gravel driveway. Now I'm turning onto the highway. Oh, letting it arms. Oh, yeah. Quite smooth. This is really nice because beforehand I could feel like every little bitty bump, and now I just glide it. I still think it's riding rougher than what it used to run, but in all honesty, I got 123,000 miles and I've never changed the shocks, so that's probably part of it too. But it is 20 times better than what it was with the old body mounts. Plus the clapping and the thumping's gone. That's the kind of thing that just drives me crazy. Driving down and you just constantly hearing a thump, 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 thump. Oh, yeah. I'm just running into town real quick. I don't plan on driving too far or anything. So I got a couple other things I want to do today. I got to give my arms a break for a minute though before I do those things. But probably I might go through tomorrow morning. I'm not going to film any of this, but I'm probably going to go through tomorrow morning just because I drove, I don't know, probably total 6 miles by the time I get to town and go back. But I want to make sure to torque everything back down because with the truck going down and everything can potentially shift. So you always want to retorque it. And then probably Monday night when I get home, I'll run through and retorque everything just because that's going to be my hour commute to work and my hour commute back. So I live about an hour from work, so it's 2 hours a day I got to drive. But yeah, big difference with the new body mounts. Super happy. It's $521, but it's good money spent. And how this compares to the Chinese ones that you can buy from Amazon and save $100. I can't tell you. People, you know, there's good reviews. I think it has like 5 stars or 4.5 stars or something of that nature. But I mean, for $100 more, lifetime guarantee, try once, buy one situation, it was worth every penny. Yeah, we're issues fixed, and should never have to deal with this issue again. About to go across train tracks right here, so that's definitely going to tell us something about the garage sale. It's definitely going to tell us if we got any thumping. Nope, no thumping. So I'm very happy with the results. So if you're thinking about getting them, if you can afford them, go for it. I guess no matter what, you got to spend that money. It's just going to get worse and worse. If you're second guessing because you see on YouTube how hard people are doing propane or fire, heat, I would recommend, if you can afford it, to buy the induction heater because then you ain't gonna worry about fire. But definitely, heat is your friend. With the torch, I didn't see too big of a benefit going further than 3 minutes with the torch on the bolt. The very last one I did, the front left, I did put the torch on for about 6 minutes. Really didn't see a comparable difference between 3 minutes and 6 minutes. So don't waste the propane or your time. Do 3 minutes. The
Pittsburgh ratcheting breaker bar. Once I started holding it in a different place and getting my hand completely away from the switch, all the fighting issue with that went away. So that was just me. It was good tools. I mean, for 30 bucks, I got everything I need for Harbor Freight. For $20, I got everything, or $30, I got everything I needed from Walmart. I only needed, I didn't even use all the propane in the first bottle that came in the kit. So you don't need the other 2 bottles. I went and bought them because we do a lot of fires in the fireplace and stuff. We can use that to light those fires and all that. And there's going to be other things I'm going to need a torch for in the future. So I wasn't too worried about spending the money. And I guess like $6 for 2 cans or something, $10 for 2 cans, I don't know, something like that. But you don't need it to finish the job. It is very, very easy. It is a workout on your arms. You could use a bigger impact, and that might make things go faster. But remember, you definitely don't want to slip that nut in that cage. So I wouldn't really recommend going any stronger impact, because that impact, I was able to get stuff out, and get stuff started really well. But I also feel like I didn't have to worry about slipping that nut in that cage as much. So probably just think about it. Anyway, y'all, that's it for this one. The body mounts worked out really, really well. I'm very happy with it. They are expensive, but it's worth the money in my opinion. But so far, it's worth my money in my opinion. You know, I had it on here for 5 minutes, or about 8 minutes now. So, anyway, y'all, that's it on this video. Thank you for joining me on the farm today. If you're thinking about doing this, it's not as hard as people make it out to be. So, you definitely can do this at home. Don't bring it to the mechanic. If you've got the money to pay a mechanic and you want them to do it, ain't nothing wrong with that. If you want to save the $500 to $1,000 they're going to charge you, you can do this at home. It's a workout, but it's nothing complicated, nothing too crazy. Be careful, don't burn your house down. Other than that, y'all have a good one. Thank you for joining on the farm today. I'll talk to y'all on the next one.